Hello.
Hello, beautiful human. Do you find yourself questioning the path you've chosen?
Second guessing yourself?
Yeah, doubting everything you say or do?
We understand that.
We do.
But what if you knew beyond the shadow of a doubt that you can't do it wrong?
Right. We have it on good authority that this is the case.
For real. Yeah, and we thought the best way to share it this week would be to offer up one of our podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
We made 12 of them right before we jumped into YouTube land.
Yeah, it's like a radio show with inspirational quotes, the featured song. We share stories from our lives, and there's a laugh lift at the end, so stick around for that.
So this podcast was number 10. It's a 5-word message from your sponsor. And we hope you enjoy listening to it as much as we enjoyed making it. Because boy, did we.
Yeah, and if our work speaks to you, we invite you to subscribe to our channel below. Hit that subscribe button and also the notification bell right beside it. That will remind you when a new video pops up.
And leave us a comment. We love to read them and we'll answer everyone. We really enjoy being in communication with you.
Yeah.
So what time is it, Stowe?
It's time to grab your favorite beverage, sit back and relax, and let the podcast roll. Whee! Take number 167.
Hello.
You can't do it wrong, but it looks like we are.
Do you forget the lines that you're supposed to say because your partner messed you up? Help! She's misplaced her modifier.
Oh, no!
There it is.
I said I couldn't do it wrong.
Oh, I'm so sorry. It was perfect.
Hey Karen, remember that amazing 5-word message we received?
Yeah, your gourmet lunch is served.
No.
No, not that one. Oh, big sale at TJ Maxx.
No.
Oh, check is in the mail?
No. Today we're going to be musically speaking about the 5-word decree we received from on high and how it affected our lives and inspired a song.
Oh, yeah. And listeners, it just might be the most important 5 words you've ever heard.
I was not born brave. I walked in shaky shoes.
Fear doesn't stop you from dying. It stops you from living.
Drop the act, take off the mask, and feel real.
There is only one you in all creation, so be yourself. Everybody else is taken.
We have so much to learn from one another. Thank God we're in this together.
Hey friends, fasten your emotional seatbelts for Grammy-nominated hit songwriters and best-selling authors Stowe Dailey and Karen Taylor Good. Today on Musically Speaking with StoweGood.
I'm Stowe Dailey.
And I'm Karen Taylor Good.
Together, we are StoweGood. And we are delighted to be your host today on Musically Speaking. Thank you so much for joining us. And, we just invite you right now to take a moment and stop and please hit the subscribe button because we want to stay in touch with you.
And now that you're back, we want to say we really are honored that you would spend part of your day with us. So this episode might find you feeling on top of the world, totally confident with every choice you've ever made.
Or you may have questions about how you're living your life, like, am I doing what I came here to do? Am I on the right path? Well, either way, we just can't wait to share this episode's featured song, whose title is, we're not going to give it away yet.
Not yet. So we will not only share the song, we'll also talk about how it was written, what it has to do with our lives, and hopefully yours.
Mm-hmm. So this song was born in one of our day-long workshops during one of our favorite exercises.
Yeah. So during this exercise, everybody has a pen and paper in hand. They take a deep breath, they get out of the way, and they allow their creator to write them a love letter. And all they do is just take down whatever they hear.
I love this exercise.
Yeah, me too.
These love letters are they're just so very touching. And we especially enjoy inviting people up to share with the group what they've written. And it's amazing that even though someone is reading a letter with a message that was written just for them, it speaks to all of us. And it shows how connected we are.
Absolutely. So usually people are very excitedly waving their hands, right? Asking
Right.
to be the next person to come up and share this amazing love letter that they received.
Yeah, but on this particular day, I noticed there was this one woman who, I don't know, I just had the gut feeling that she wanted to share, but maybe she was too shy, so I kind of gently nudged her.
You did. You're very good with that gentle nudge. And you didn't shame her at all. And so, of course, she reluctantly came up and stood between us and shared, oh my goodness. And the letter was so beautiful, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I remember before she read it, she was saying, oh, my letter's no good. You know, everybody else wrote these profound things.
Right.
And mine is not, she was just...
Right, and that's why she hadn't gotten up, because
Right.
she thought she had nothing to say.
Mm-hmm.
So her letter was something like, the best we can remember, "My dearest child, you've spent so much of your life questioning yourself, always wondering if you're making wise choices. Well, guess what? You are. Give yourself a break. Lighten up. Love yourself. And remember, I love you dearly."
And this precious letter she read ended with this divinely sent 5-word message. You can't do it wrong.
I watch you question every move, every step along the way, second guessing all you do, doubting every word you say. How you struggle, how you fight, trying to do it right. Don't be afraid to let your heart break. Trust yourself and the choices you make, 'cause in the end there are no mistakes. Just keep going on. You can't do it wrong. It's how your soul will finally heal. You'll take a breath and just relax. Oh, the freedom that you'll feel, knowing life has got your back. No more struggle, no more fight, no trying to do it right. Don't be afraid to let your heart break. Trust yourself and the choices you make, 'cause in the end there are no mistakes. Just keep going on. You can't do it wrong. It's so sweet letting go. I to let your heart break.
To let your heart break.
Trust yourself.
Trust yourself.
And the choices you
make.
'Cause in the end, there are no mistakes. Just keep going on. Ooh, keep going on. Dare to sing your own sweet song. You can't do it wrong. Ooh, you can't do it wrong.
Wow. I was just listening to that, almost like for the first time, and it just resonates so much in my spirit. I feel like it's the message that my soul wants to hear. You know, it's okay to sing my own sweet song. I can't do it wrong.
It is a really wonderful, powerful message. And it did come from on high.
Yeah.
So I want to choose to believe that that's absolutely the message that's being sent to all of us. That no matter what we're doing on this crazy planet and in this crazy life, we can't do it wrong.
And yes, we do make mistakes. We do say things. We do things. It either gives us or someone else an opportunity to learn from it.
Right. And I mean, here's a lovely Anne Lamott quote about mistakes. You have to make mistakes to find out who you aren't. You take the action and the insight follows. You don't think your way into becoming yourself. So you fumble your way into becoming yourself, right?
Gee, I should be very much myself by now.
Well, and, you know, we wrote about Thomas Edison in one of our songs.
Right. That he found 10,000 ways not to make a light bulb.
Right. And he even said, I have not failed 10,000 times. I have not failed once. I have succeeded in proving that those 10,000 ways will not work. When I have eliminated the ways that will not work, I will find the way that will work.
Amen.
And he did. And so can we.
Yeah, so it's all about making mistakes, which is, you know, so human. Albert Hubbard said, the greatest mistake you can make in life is to be continually fearing you will make one.
I like that. And then sometimes, Stowe, don't we mistakenly make a bigger deal out of our mistakes than we ought?
Yeah. Like my cousin, Chuck Dailey. He said, it's discouraging to make a mistake, but it's humiliating when you find out you're so unimportant that nobody noticed it.
Okay, but
We made a mistake.
and speaking of making mistakes, I think we should share with our listeners the incredibly interesting time we had with the recording of this song.
Oh, my God.
To me,
It's
it's
one mistake after the other, wasn't
really,
it?
it's proof that God has a sense of humor, right?
Right.
Because she sends us this incredible message that you can't do it wrong. And then we could not get through one practice run or one recording run without doing it wrong.
It certainly made us wonder if we were on the right track.
I know. It made our producer wonder.
Yes, he actually wanted to just scrap this song.
Yeah, this song almost didn't get born because it appeared that we couldn't do it without making a mistake. I'm so glad we didn't dump it.
Me too.
Yeah. And by the way, if you love this song as much as we love our baby song, it lives on our Beautiful Brokenness double CD,
Yes.
which you can find at StoweGood.com. I want to talk about another very interesting aspect of mistakes and mistake making. And that is when you and I are on stage and we have a screw up, a really obvious one, it never fails that at least one person will come up to us at the end of the show saying, "Oh, that was my favorite part when you guys messed up, because it just made you guys seem so human."
Yeah, we are.
We're all so human, folks.
Sometimes I feel a little too human.
You do?
You know, like a couple of weeks ago, we were up in Louisville and I screwed up the punchline.
I'm sorry. That was the best ever. Oh my gosh. Okay, listeners, here's what happened. Now, my best friend's sister, Stowe, she's quite thin, and she doesn't have the stores of energy that many of us, like myself, have, in our butts and thighs and tummies, where we can call upon if we haven't been fed in a long time. So we had not been fed. We went from a really early morning sound check right through a service, right into everybody went and had potluck, but we didn't have time. We were doing all this stuff. So I'm telling you, I was hungry. And if I was hungry, Stowe.
Yeah, it was getting on toward about 3:00, I think.
Yeah. And so she gets, so we're at the end of our concert.
Last song.
The last song. And we have this bit that I bet we've done it 100 times, where I set Stowe up. I set you up like this. And I say, and now we're going to do this song that we were inspired to write by one of this century's great sages. And the line you are supposed to say is...
Of course, we're talking about Joan Rivers.
Right, Joan Rivers. And then we tell this funny stuff that Joan Rivers said. So here I am, and I'm looking at my slightly dizzy friend Stowe, and I say, and we were inspired to write this song by one of this century's great sages, right, Stowe? Mm-hmm. And she says...
Of course, we're talking about Joan Baez.
Joan Baez. Which made absolutely no sense.
I was in shock.
And we both started laughing hysterically. and then we shared with the audience what we were supposed to say. And it was hilarious. They loved it. I loved it. I could not look at you, however, during the rest of the song, because I knew I was just going to lose it. So yeah, sometimes mistakes are absolutely delightful.
Yeah. And sometimes they're not. I mean, can almost hear some of you out there thinking, yeah, some mistakes are funny, perhaps endearing, but I've made some real whoppers in my time. Like, I've hurt people and they're not going to forgive me. And furthermore, I can't forgive myself.
Yeah, I hear those people's thoughts too. And yeah, what's true is we've all made those kind of mistakes. But we just want to invite you to entertain the possibility that this message is true. You can't do it wrong. And we also want to invite you to read a story by Neil Donald Walsh. It's called The Little Soul and the Sun. And even though he wrote it like as a little children's tale, right, it speaks to my soul. I just think it's absolutely the truth. I think that's how it works. Do you think we could explain it to them a little bit?
Well, it's the story of little soul who wants to come to earth to be forgiving. That he really wants to learn that. And he asks God if he can be that part of special, which is forgiving. And God says, that's great, but there's no one to forgive. You know, everybody's perfect and beautiful.
Right, just like you. And he thinks that's such a bummer that there will be nobody to forgive.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then this little soul this little friendly soul comes up and says, hey, you know what? I love you so much. I'm going to do you this big favor. And when we're both down there on earth, I'm going to come up and do something horrible to you and give you a chance to know what forgiveness feels like.
Yeah.
Basically. We don't want to give the whole story away.
No. Yeah. So, well, maybe you did make a really big mistake, but could you just cut yourself a little slack and know that you did the best you could with the information that you had at that time, and consider that maybe you were somebody's friendly soul?
Yeah. And here's a really cool quote by Dan Heist. When you realize you've made a mistake, make amends immediately. It's easier to eat crow while it's still warm. That's really good advice. So, if you feel nurtured by our music, and if you're intrigued by our workshops, what if you could have 4 days and 3 nights of us laying some major love on you?
Yeah, and what if you gifted yourself with this musical retreat that also included the magic of movement with our good friend Melissa Kay?
And what if this retreat took place in beautiful exotic locations around the world, like Yalapa, Mexico, during whale watching season at the end of January?
Whee! And what if you could find out all about these intimate retreats at whatifretreat.com?
Well, it's almost time for our laugh lift. But first, a word from our sponsor. We are fortunate to have some fabulous patrons who support our musical mission.
Yes, and today we send a shout out to our Illinois friend and patron, Denise Bazzani, who holds the record for attending the most StoweGood concerts. Thank you, Denise, for being a longtime friend and sponsor.
Thanks, Denise. Now, as you can tell, we love what we do. So we are asking for your support to keep the podcasts and the music coming.
Please go to StoweGood.live and find links on ways that you can get involved. Visit our Adopt a Song and patron pages.
And check out our musical keynotes. We would love to come and share one with you and your favorite organization.
And if you've enjoyed this podcast, please take a moment and write a review on iTunes and share us with your friends. Thanks.
And now it's time for our laugh lift on the subject of mistakes. Ready?
Yeah.
A senior citizen was driving down the highway when his wife called his cell phone. Herman, I just heard on the news that there's a car going the wrong way on Highway 96. Please be careful.
It's not just one car. It's hundreds of them. Well, we have had so much fun hanging out with you all. Thank you for being part of our lives. And if you are one who worries about your past mistakes or one who is worrying about which path to take towards your future, here's a love letter just for you.
My dearest child, you've spent so much of your life questioning yourself, always wondering if you're making wise choices. Well, you are. Give yourself a break. Lighten up. Love yourself. Remember that I love you dearly. And don't forget, you can't do it wrong.
So that's it for today. Be sure and check out our show notes at StoweGood.live.
Thank you so much for being with us, and join us next time for
Musically Speaking with Stowe Good. Ciao.
I just heard on the news that there's a car going the wrong way on Highway 96. Please be careful.
Well, it's just not one car. It's not just one car.
said Herman.
Hussy, here's 100 of them. Oh, good Lord, Ethel. Not just one car. It's 100 of them.